everybody, it's Jess here with Let's Jess. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome to another Disney story time. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about Disney Animal Kingdom. I have a lot of videos and pictures and stuff to share with you. Like I said in the first video, I did not actually vlog in the park. I was going to, that was what I was planning on doing, but it was just way too chaotic. It was too loud. It was too hectic. We had kids and all of that. So I'm going to be telling you guys what we did, how the kids liked it. I'm going to be showing you footage that I took. I'm going to be telling you guys about the snacks, the drinks, all of it. I mean, drinks as in, like non-alcoholic drinks, all the food, what we did, how it went. So this was the day I told you guys in the last video, but in case you missed it, this is the day that the whole family was going. So my in-laws only went with us to Animal Kingdom and Magic Kingdom. So this was a Sunday morning. We got up bright and early. We left our condo at 6:45 in the morning. Got to Animal Kingdom. So the whole group, it was me and David and our 3 kids, and then my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my brother-in-law, who also has autism. So I signed up Nate for the disability pass a few weeks before we left, and my mother-in-law also signed my brother-in-law up for the disability pass, because you have to have the disability pass only covers you're the person with a disability plus 5 extra guests. And so for all of us to be able to ride stuff together, they both needed to be on the disability pass. They both have a disability, so it was no problem getting them signed up. And that way we were able to ride all together. So we get to the park a little bit early, but we were able, pretty much by the time we got to the entrance of Animal Kingdom, we were able to get right in. I don't even think we had to really wait this day because it was right at time. And I was very excited to get to the park early because it's Animal Kingdom. Like, we've never been with all the kids, and I feel like if you get to Animal Kingdom early, the animals are more active. It's cooler in the parks. We just thought getting a good head start would be good. So we were there right at 7:30. I had made, actually, these shirts that I'm wearing right now, had them made. I did not make them. We ordered them off of Etsy, but it was so fun for the whole entire family to match. We had the boys in gray shirts and the girls were wearing these like heather mauve shirts, and it was really fun to have all of us matching. So we got into the parks, and the kids had never been to Animal Kingdom. We had taken them a few years ago to Disney, but we did not do Animal Kingdom. And it's probably my least favorite park, just because I don't feel like there's as much to do there. Now, if you like thrill rides, they're getting more and more. Like, they have Expedition Everest, they have the new Flight of Passage ride, all of that. But it's still, it's one of the newest parks. I don't feel like there is as much to do there. So we were excited though for the kids to experience it for the first time. The very first thing we did when we first got there was walk back to the safari, because we wanted to do the safari early in the morning. The only problem with that is we didn't realize the safari didn't open until 8 o'clock, and it was not quite 8 o'clock yet, and there was already getting to be a pretty long line forming. We couldn't reserve the disability pass until right at 8. So what we decided to do, as opposed to getting in line and just waiting in line, is we just sat down in a little cafe, waited till 8 o'clock, then put in our time and was able to ride the safari ride all together. The animals a lot of them were out. I know we got to see like the giraffes. I'll put in some clips here. Everybody really, really loved the safari. Mark is all about animals, and so he was pointing out the animals. Nate really liked the safari. It was nice and cool out, and it was really, really nice to be able to see. I think we saw rhinos and lions and just a lot of stuff. If you've never been on the safari ride, it's like the best. I think it's the best ride in Animal Kingdom. It's a lot of fun, and it's a long ride. It takes a while to go through it. So we really enjoyed that ride. And I forgot to mention, while we were waiting for our time for safari, we walked through like the jungle, what's it called? The gorilla walk or whatever, and it's just like a little walking trail that you walk through a bunch of different exhibits of animals. They have like a little aquarium where you can see fish, and they have lots of different stuff. So we kind of walked through there while we were waiting. Not crowded at all. There was hardly anyone there. Everybody was probably in line for different rides, but it was really, really nice to be able to let the kids get some energy out, see like little exhibits while we were waiting, and not just having to just sit there while we were waiting. So we rode the safari, and then we realized that we were having a problem with our disability passes. It wouldn't allow, so I don't know how to explain this, but it wouldn't allow my husband to ride under my brother-in-law's name. It would only allow him to ride under Nate's name. So that became a problem if there was a ride that, like my brother-in-law Kevin loves roller coasters and like really fun, like high intensity rides, and Nate doesn't. Like he normally does, but I told y'all in the last video, he's been scarred from a roller coaster at Dollywood, and he would not get on anything that resembled a roller coaster. So if David wanted to ride something under, like with Kevin, our app wasn't working, allowing us to do that. He could ride under Nate and Nate only, but we were all connected. So I'm like, there has to be a way to make this work. Hold on, my battery. Okay, back. So we were having this problem because David wanted to be able to ride some rides with Kevin and didn't want to have to just wait in line by himself. So we were able to talk to some guest service representatives that were stationed. They have them stationed all over the park, which is really helpful. You don't have to walk all the way over to guest services. And we came across this, they had like a little tent and a little table set up, and they were so nice and was able to fix it to where we could ride with each other. Basically, they had to be on different systems. I'm not really sure what they did. They fixed it, and we were able to, from then on, ride. Anyone could ride with Kevin or anyone could ride with Nate, just no more than 5. So it worked out really, really well. So they put in to ride Expedition Everest, which is a roller coaster. So me and my mother-in-law and the kids walked around. We got some popcorn, which was very popular with the kids, and a drink. And then we happened upon the kite tail show, which is really cool. It's like it's like they have jet skis on this little lake, and behind them they pull these huge kites. There was like a kite of Simba and Iago and different ones. And so we watched that for a minute. We happened upon like the very last bit of that show, but it was really cool to get to see that. And they got to ride Expedition Everest, and they loved that. Then we went into Dinoland, which is like a more kiddie area, I think, of Animal Kingdom, but they have like, you guys know the Dumbo ride, like that style of ride, but these were TriceraTops. And so, you get in the car and you can push them up and down, you go higher or lower, and it just goes in a circle. So we get in line for this ride, and Nate is so nervous. I can't tell you, it's so weird to see Nate nervous for a ride because he never gets nervous for a ride. He loves rides. He loves roller coasters, but he's just been so upset after riding this Dollywood ride. I didn't even realize it was going to be a problem for Disney. So we're waiting in line for this ride, and I'm like, he keeps saying, no, 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 I don't want to ride it. And I'm like, you are going to love this. It's a kid ride. It's not a roller coaster. So I'm trying to talk to him. The guy next to us is so nice. He was telling me, like, my wife works with special needs children, and he was trying to like say, Nate, you're going to love this ride, and everything was really nice. And I just kept like talking to him because I knew he would like it once he got on it. And so we got on it. He loved it. It was one of the family's favorite. I rode with Nate, and then behind us was David and Mark, and the next dinosaur was Lucy and Grammy, and they rode together. So it was a lot of fun. That was one of everybody's favorite rides, Okay, moving on. Let me see what we did next. I'm trying to keep it all straight. We went to the It's Tough to Be a Bug show, which is a 3D show, and it's in the big tree of life, which is just beautiful to look at. I was very nervous about this 3D show though, because I remember being scared of it as a kid. There's some fun parts, like, it's all 3D. It's not real, but Disney makes it like so immersive. There's just one part where Hopper comes out, the big grasshopper, and he like sprays everybody with exterminate, like pest spray. But it's just like water. It's water vapor, but it feels really real, and it's dark and loud. And so I prepared Lucy and Nate, like, especially Lucy, like she loves to know like what's coming up and stuff. So I was telling her, there's a couple parts that are scary, but you can close your eyes. It's all 3D. So they cried, but all 3 of them cried through parts of the show. And then we go to stand up to leave, and somehow Nate has taken off his shoes. This is a common problem in our house. Like, Nate just randomly takes off his shoes. He doesn't like if his socks get any little, like, the crease comes off his toe, like, you know, the little line on the sock is crooked or something. I don't know if that happened. I don't know if he just thought we're sitting down, so I'm gonna take off my shoes. So, you know, you're trying to exit this building where all these hundreds of people have watched this 3D show. There was no place to sit down and put his shoes on, so we're like walking all down Animal Kingdom trying to find a place to sit down and put his shoes on, but we made it. We got his shoes on. And then we decided, it was about this time, we decided to go have lunch. And I was kind of looking at a different place than we ended up eating, but it ended up working out really well. We were going to eat over where it's over where Pandora, no, it's not over, it's over where the Expedition Everest is, which is like in Asia. That's where I had looked in the menu. They had like Chinese food, but they also had burgers. They also had mac and cheese. Like it was like literally something everybody in our, that's what's so hard about eating with a big group is you have to consider everyone's taste. My brother-in-law is really picky. My kids are really picky, you know, so we're trying to find something everybody would like. Well, when it came time to lunch, we were nowhere near Asia. We were on the other side of Animal Kingdom than Asia. So we're trying to figure out like, well, where are we going to eat? We ended up walking back over to Dinoland, and there's a restaurant there called Restaurantosaurus. And we were able to find a table inside that was very cool. It's a big place, so there's lots of room. I was able to leave Mark in the stroller. He fell asleep at some point. He was able to take a little nap. We were able to mobile order online, which was so nice. Just sit down at the table, do a mobile order for your food, and then they tell you when it's ready, you go pick it up. You don't have to wait in line for food. That was the best part of the whole trip, was all the mobile ordering. You don't have to wait in line. You're waiting in line enough for everything else. So the food wasn't anything amazing. I think I had a chili cheese dog, which was huge. I ate about half of it. Nate had a cheeseburger. Lucy had chicken. David had a cheeseburger. It was all like, you know, theme park food. It was like chicken and cheeseburgers and pizza and stuff like that. But while we were waiting, they were able to get a time to ride. Actually, yeah, they were able to, while we were waiting, get a time to ride Flight of Passage. So if you don't know what Flight of Passage is, it is an intense 3D ride, and I have a big story coming for that. But at this point, it was just going to be Kevin and David's mom and dad. All of them were going to ride Flight of Passage. And so I was like, I'm just going to stay right here with the kids in this little room. Like, we're going to just sit here. I'm going to let them look at electronics. I'm going to do whatever. Like, we're just going to relax. And so I sat there, and before it was time for them to ride the ride, they even went and rode something else. And Grandpa stayed with me for a little while. And then they all left to ride Flight of Passage. And me and the kids ended up getting like this really yummy ice cream sandwich. So good. And me and Lucy split it. It was like, I'll have to show you guys a picture of it, but it was like 2 cookies with ice cream in the middle. Super good. Anyway, then we ended up walking around some stores while waiting for them to ride Flight of Passage. And they get off a Flight of Passage and they're like, y'all have to, like, Dave was like, you have to ride that. It was amazing. I think Nate and Lucy would like it. You know, it's all like simulation, but it's from the movie Avatar, and you're riding a banshee, and it feels really realistic, but it's not real. Like, you're in front of a screen and this thing is like moving you around, and it feels like you're flying, but you know, it's all in front of a screen and stuff. And so I was like, really, do you think the kids are gonna like this? Because I don't know. And Dave was like, I think they will. I think they will. So we go ahead and reserve another time. And I'm thinking, I don't know if this is a good idea, but we're going to try it. And we finally came to the idea of, you know what, worst comes to worst, if we get over there and they don't like it, we can just get right off the ride. Like, we can say, never mind, and just get off. So while we were waiting for this time to come available, because the wait time was like 1 hour and 20 minutes, so we had hours to wait, we decided to go see the Lion King show. And we got there, like, we were in line to see the Lion King show because you couldn't do a lightning lane because we already had that one for Flight of Passage. You can't do more than one at a time. You can't do the disability pass for more than one at a time. I hope this is making sense. I feel like this is a very long story. Anyway, so we just figured, well, we'll just go right on to the Lion King. Like, that's just like a huge show. Like, wouldn't be that big of a deal. So we get there, we're in line to get into the theater. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to get on this in this show because it's starting to really fill up. They stop us right at the gate and they're like, I don't know if there's any room. Y'all just wait right here and we'll see if there's room. And so at one point, they let on a lot of people behind us who said they had like 8 people, which we also had 8 people, but like they go in front of us, cut in front of us, and like a whole, like probably 20 people go in with them. And I told the cast members, I'm like, that was a way more than 8. And they were like, yeah, that was not fair at all. Basically, just a whole big group of people cut in front of us. And I'm thinking, like, we're not going to get to see Lion King. Like, we're going to have to come back another time or something because there was another show like later on in the night. Anyway, they were so nice. The cast members were so nice to us. They got us in. And not only do we get to see the Lion King, they put us on the very front row.
And now, I present to you His Majesty, the Lion King.
Welcome, everyone. It's me.
Oh, I just can't wait to be free. Maestro, if you please. Hakuna Matata.
Chiba.
What a wonderful phrase. Yeah, that's it. You too, baby. Habibi, observe.
We had the best seats. Like, it is an experience I will never, ever forget. The kids were just in awe of everything. They got to see the show, just such an amazing view. So the kids were just in awe of everything. We had a really good hand on Nate because I was so afraid he would get so into it that he would want to jump up and like dance around with them. He didn't though. He did great. And it was just amazing. Like it was like, you know, one of those experiences where you're kind of bummed as you're gonna, like, you're missing out or somebody like cut in front of you and you think like, oh, it's not fair that they did that and all of that. But then like God just redeems it in such a beautiful way and the cast members made it all perfect for us and it was just such a blessing. And if you've never seen the Lion King show, highly recommend. It is a live show with amazing singers and dancers and it's just incredible. So that was amazing. And then after that, we went to, I think it was Not Time to Ride Flight of Passage. And my in-laws had Mark because he was too short to ride it. Basically, you're on this, like, almost like straddling a bicycle is what you're doing. And then they put that bicycle in front, or like, say, straddling a motorcycle. And they put that thing in front of a screen. Just look up Flight of Passage. Anyway. Nate's doing great. Like, we tell him it's not a roller coaster. Even Lucy's like, because at first she was like, I don't want to ride it. And I'm like, you don't have to. But then she changed her mind and she wanted to ride it. So me, Lucy, David, and Nate are getting on the ride. As soon as Nate sits on this motorcycle thing, he kind of freaks out and he starts trying to stand up. And the cast member comes over there and she's like, he has to sit all the way down or he can't ride it. I mean, she was really nice about it, but that's basically what she said. So we're trying to tell him, like, Nate, you have to sit down. You have to sit down. And he just kept trying to, like, stand up. He just was really nervous. And so she came back and she was like, he can't ride it. She's like, I just don't think it's safe. If he stands up on the ride, we'll have to, like, shut all of it down and get everybody off and all that. So she said, you can just, one of you wait outside with him and then we have like rider share or whatever. So she said he can just wait right outside and then if you guys want to switch and another one wait with them, it's called like rider share, which I didn't know that they would do that if he was the reason, like he was a disability pass, but this is the only time we did that. But me and Lucy were already sitting on the ride, so it was nice that we didn't all have to get off. Anyway, the ride starts. Dave was like, I'll take him out. I've already ridden it. I want you to be able to ride it. So the ride starts and Lucy freaks out. It was a very intense ride. I'm so proud of her for doing it, but she cried through the whole thing. It reminds me so much of me at that age. She cried through the whole thing. Bless her heart. It was intense because they're like shooting wind in your face to make you really feel like you're flying. I kept telling her, like, close your eyes. You're not moving anywhere. We're in front of a screen. But it definitely felt real. So she was hysterical the whole time. Like, the people next to us were trying to encourage her and stuff, but she was having none of it. So the whole time I'm worried about her. And so I'm not even really enjoying the ride either, but we made it off. We made it off the ride. And after that, we had one more time we wanted to do the safari because the kids loved it so much. And so anyway, we went and rode the safari, and it was so funny. This time, one of the rhinos, they said this happens sometimes in the afternoon, one of the rhinos came down in front of our vehicle and was drinking out of water. Like, they were right in front of our vehicle, drinking out of this puddle of water and would not move. I mean, those rhinos, they can drink a lot. So they were drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And then their little baby came up and they were drinking and drinking. And we sat there forever. Finally, they got like this truck to come and like distract them. It's like a food truck. So they followed that and we were able to go through. But we held up the line a lot, to like probably 20 minutes of just sitting there while this rhino drank. It was really cool to see it that close up though. And all the animals, we got to see a lot of it's interesting riding it in the morning and then in the afternoon and seeing like different animals out. And they were definitely more lazy looking in the afternoon, but she said the rhinos kind of do that in the afternoon too, so it's funny. Then it was about 5 or 6 o'clock again that we left Animal Kingdom, and the kids were so tired. We had walked so far. They did so good, but they were done. So we went back to the condo and we fed them dinner and got them a bath and put them to bed. And then me and David went back out, and I really wanted Chipotle. We don't have a Chipotle here. I love Chipotle, and so we were hungry because we had eaten lunch earlier, but we really hadn't snacked anything since then, and we walked a ton. And so we were gonna go just get Chipotle that was right down the house from the condo. We get there, we wait in line to get up to the front, and they tell us we're out of chicken. And I'm like, I look at David, I'm like, that's what I wanted. Like, there's nothing else here that I want besides chicken. Hindsight, I could have gone, you know what, I should have just gotten a vegetarian burrito or something. But anyway, so we get out of line and we drive to the next Chipotle, which wasn't that far. And we placed a mobile order and we sat in our car. Y'all, it was amazing. We sat in our car and we ate Chipotle and we watched YouTube and we talked, and it was amazing. It was delicious and it was a good memory. So then we went home and went to bed, and the next day was our day off where we walked around Disney Springs and had like some downtime, went swimming and stuff like that. We definitely needed that after a crazy, crazy, crazy few days at Disney World. I definitely feel like you have to add in some rest days to your trip. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was crazy and a lot of fun. And the kids have so many stories. I'm going to have to do a vlog with them where they tell you like their favorite stories of Disney World. But Animal Kingdom was a really good day. And the next one I'm going to do is Epcot, which we went to on Tuesday. But I think I'm going to add in some like vlogs and save the Disney ones for a few days, so we don't have just like 4 or 5 Disney vlogs all in one day, all in one week. So the next video you see will probably be a vlog from us being back home, and then the Disney vlogs will return. So we still have Epcot and we still have Magic Kingdom, and I can't wait to share all of that. So anyway, that is it for Animal Kingdom. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, leave us a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. We'll see you guys tomorrow.